on, and then you can jump on, and then before you know it, you're doing amazingly well, and you're doing what you want to do, like what you love to do. You get to see a lot of space, like jobs, roles that you don't even know actually exist in the tech space, and I can tell you they definitely exist. And speaking here now, if you're calling tech, you know I will show. It's not only Ayomikun that will show up, I would also show up. Yes, what I'm doing is actually a role and a profession in the tech space. So guys, please jump on it. So if you have individuals who are interested, I need you to send a mail to them, forward the mail to them, send a message to them, forward this link to them, let them join in. We are waiting. I am waiting. Next slide, please. So guys, how do we do it? How do we get people to join in? Next slide, please. How do we get people to join in? What we do is basically, do a weekly webinar, something like a consultation session where we actually get professionals in various fields, whereby they can actually tell you what they do, how they are doing it. And you get to know that a lot of these people have the same story like you. Some of them don't even have a tech background or even a computer science background, but yeah, they are doing amazingly well. So you get to relate with this individual. See Boluwatife, that is on my screen right now. He attended one of our boot camp, and see where he is now. He's a product designer. So guys, I need you to jump on it. Whatever you're doing now, do it well. But then they say experience is the best teacher. If you don't learn from an individual who has gone through what you are about to go through, then how will you know, okay, is this the right step for me to take? Is this the right move I need to make now? We have a lot of speakers who say, do it now, do it now. But then is now the best time for you? It's always great if you hear from someone who has done it before. Please, if you can hear me, I need you to put a thumbs up because I'm feeling like people are not with me right now. Thumbs up, guys. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you, Tommy. So we have amazing speakers who are doing great in the tech space, from product management to social media management to business analysis. So I'll pass the mic now to my colleague Tommy. Tommy, I needed to do a quick introduction of the speakers we have here today.
Okay, hello everybody, good morning. Welcome to More Techies No Code tech webinar, right? And just like Tolu said, right, we are in the business of helping you to transition into the tech space, right? Particularly with no code tech skills. So, and we have amazing speakers here in our midst today. I'm delighted, I'm happy that these speakers have, they've chosen to make themselves available despite their busy schedule, just to impact quite a number of us right here who are, looking to learn about the no-code tech skills, or, our newbies and us trying to navigate the tech space, basically. So today we are going to be having 5 speakers talk to us. And of course, I'm going to be mentioning them in no particular order. First, we have Nissan in the house. Pardon me if I'm murdering the name, Nissan Arenyeka, right? Sorry if I'm murdering the name. I'm not so familiar with that particular language. I wonder what state you're from.
So I'm from Delta State.
Delta State, right? Beautiful.
So, yeah, you tried.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. So Nissan is a product marketer, and he's a growth and a performance marketer for Terragon. And I'm head of Terragon. I've heard of Terragon since when I was way back in school, right? I know that Terragon is actually a big deal. And so Nissan today is going to be explaining to us what product marketing entails. Nissan has a very beautiful background. I looked through his LinkedIn profile. I could not even find a school in Nigeria. I didn't understand. I didn't find any Nigerian school there. So he's exposed. He has done quite a lot of stuff, and I know he's going to be sharing from his wealth of knowledge today. So it's such a privilege to have you, speak to us here, Miss. So thank you so much for granting our, for granting our invite. It's so great to have you here. All right, another person in our midst is Rosemary. Udele, Rosemary Udele. Rosemary Udele is a product manager, right? And guess what? She works as a product manager for Access Bank, right? So a product manager in the fintech, not fintech, but in the banking sector as it were, right? So Rosemary finished from UI. Imagine she studied psychology and she finished from UI, which is actually an amazing discovery that I think a lot of us are looking forward to hearing. So she finished from the social science sector and now she's in tech. So we really want to learn how she did that, right? Rosemary, it's really beautiful to have you here. It's really amazing to have you here. And we're looking forward to, hearing what you have for us, hearing you talk to us from your wealth of knowledge and experience. And a lot of people are, a lot of aspiring product managers are, they are looking forward to hearing from you, and we trust so much that you're going to deliver. Thank you so much for granting our invite. All right, moving on, we have Ayobami Paul Ade. I mean, these are like strong names. All right, Ayobami Paul Ade, and Ayobami Paul Ade is a product designer, right? He's a product designer with about 4 years of experience. I'm just blown. I mean, he has been in the design industry for quite a long while. I know he has been a graphic designer for about 6 years now, and then he's now a product designer. And interestingly, he finished from FUTA and he studied elects, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, mechanical engineering rather. Sorry, he studied mechanical engineering from FUTA, and I mean, of course, we know that he has a bit of a tech background, but we are looking forward to learning how he left that mechanical engineering career path as it were, and he delved into product design. We're going to be hearing a lot from him today. I mean, designers in the house, aspiring designers in the house. Ayobami is here to point you to the right direction, give you a proper roadmap, and answer every of your questions or concern. Also, we have Ayomiko in our midst. Ayomiko Akinyemi Sonya, right? Ayomiko Akinyemi Sonya is a social media manager. She's a social media manager and she's in the fintech, just like she rightly said in the comment section, right? Ayomiko is a graduate of international law from Babcock University, and I mean that's just beautiful to see. And she's now in the digital marketing, specifically social media marketing space or social media management space. And today she's going to be shedding a lot of light on what it entails to be a social media manager, because a lot of people just think social media management is all about posting up and down. And I'm sure she's going to be doing a lot of she's going to be delving in a lot of details today to explain what that means. And last but not the least, we have Idris Olubisi, right? Idris Olubisi. And Idris Olubisi is a tech bro, right? He's a proper tech bro. But guess what? He's also a technical writer. And having gone through his LinkedIn profile, I discovered that he has been doing technical writing for quite a while, right? Quite a while, which means there must be something about technical writing that he has to tell us today. And I really want us to, to sit back, relax, and he's going to take us on a journey of how to become a technical writer, and the benefits, the tons and tons of benefits that lies in the technical writing career as a part, right? So basically, those are our speakers for today. I'm delighted, I'm excited, and I know everyone here is also excited to hear from them and to learn from them. So I mean, they are definitely going to take it away. All right, thank you, Tolu, for that. And I'll be handing over back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tommy. And I really appreciate that introduction. Like, I got to know a lot about Mason and Ayomiko and Idris and Rosemary. So it's great to meet you all. Like, I'm blown. So right now, I'm sure a lot of us have questions, like a lot of individuals do have questions. Yes, I'm still reiterating, guys, please share the link with those who are interested to jump into the tech space. We have a lot of people registered for this session and I'm seeing few numbers. So if you can remind others, please let them join us. So I will start with Ayomiko. I'm not trying to pick on you, but yes. So I'll start with Ayomiko. Hi, Ayomiko. It's so great to have you here. So, I'll just go straight to my question. Like, let's get to know you. your background. How did you get to this spot that you are right now? Social media management is one role in which people take for granted. And yes, I've met a lot of individuals doing amazingly well, and this is you. So I would like you to tell us about your journey so far, Just give us a brief summary in like 2 to 3 minutes. Let's get to know you.
Okay. Hi everyone. Good morning. Like I've been introduced, my name is Ayemi Kwanke Messiah. I'm currently the social media manager for Mini Money, which is a fintech startup. And my journey so far, I've been a social media manager for about 3 years now. And how I started is actually quite funny. So it was after NYSC and my PPA rejected me. So I went to church one day and someone I know in church was like, oh, this is what she does, this is what she does. And I'm like, oh, wow, interesting. So like, you just post for people on social media and they pay you that money. Nice. So I basically told her that, okay, she should put me through. And she told me, okay, take this course, watch this video, watch that video. And I would say I got very interested. And after I did those few things, she said, she called me back and she was like, oh, have you watched the videos? Have you done this? Have you done that? And I was like, well, I'm still on it, but yeah, I like the path that we are going to. And she was like, oh, I have a job for you. And I was like, okay. So she said her current client's daughter needed someone to manage the page. And this was 2020. This was January 2020. So I was like, I'm up for the task. Hope they're not looking for experience because I really don't have experience. So she was like, no, that's so far I did those things she told me to do that it would be easy for me. So that was how I got my first job. And on my first job, logging into the page, I started seeing what people were doing, how people were getting likes, engagement, and all that. And I went to do my own research. And that was how it all started. So as social media manager, like you said, people just feel, oh, it's just post something up on social media. There is more to it than just posting. So there's the research, there's the content creation. Sometimes you have to do the graphics if it's a small business and they don't have a graphic designer. So there are you take on a lot of other job roles aside just managing social media. Sometimes you have to be the photographer, the videographer, the graphic designer, the marketing executive. You have to go and do market research, see what your competitors are doing, a whole lot. But one thing I would say is social media management is easy if you have the right mindset, if you are the creative type, and if you're willing to give it your time. So as social media manager, you need to be time conscious, management, organization should be things you already have. If you are not organized and you cannot manage your time, I would say this, you will feel exhausted. So in the space of 3 years, this is like what I've learned. You just have to give it your all. You have to be creative. You have to learn the new trends. You have to be up to date with what is going on in the social media space. So these are like just a few things, a quick summary about social media management. I think, yeah, if there's any other thing, I think within the course of it, we would attend to that.
Guys, you can see how Ayomiku's journey started. Quite interesting. Immediately after NYSC, 1, 2, she jumped on it. Before you know it, she's cashing out. I want to be like you. So that is it, guys. One thing I took from what she just said is, don't let any opportunity pass you by. Every information is key. See, from a simple introduction from an individual, she got 1 or 2 important messages that actually helped her in jumping into this space. So every information counts, guys. Every information counts. So yes, thank you, Ayomiku. Thank you for sharing that with us. So I will go to Miss-san. Hi, Miss-san. Miss-san, first thing first, you need to tell us maybe what country, state you are from. course, Mr. Arenyeka, I need to know where you're from. Then a little bit about yourself. How did you get here? Growth and performance. Growth is my thing. So please make sure you drop something that I would definitely steal and use in my own career. Thank you. Let's get to know you, Mr.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So yes, I am a Nigerian, like all of us. I'm actually from Delta State, Ishekiri side. So that's around Warri, Delta State. So how did I get into growth marketing? I think I've seen a lot of people just like Ayomiko who actually did not study marketing and then eventually ended up in marketing. But I think I would say I studied it. That was what I did at university. And so when I finished university, I attended like a boot camp session, which is something I think similar to what Techies offers as well. So from there, I got job offers, started with an internship. So the normal career trajectory, I would say, for marketing. So that's sort of like how I got into it. But I think when it comes to like marketing, there are two main differences, two main classifications, sorry. So there's in-house marketing and then there's agency marketing. So I sort of started off in a digital marketing agency, from which I then left and went in-house where I am at the moment. So in terms of what I do, I think when you sort of go through agency and in-house, you sort of get the classification of performance marketing, which is what most agencies do, whereby a client gives you a brief. You want this amount of impressions, this amount of leads, this amount of clicks, and then you do all of that. But when you go in-house, it's more, for lack of a better word, there's more accountability, whereby you are now more focused on getting return on investment. So, they don't just want leads at this point in time. They want those leads to convert into sales, convert into active users and all those kind of things. So at the moment, I am in charge of growth and performance marketing at Terragon. Most especially discussion. So I think that's a brief summary of what I do.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I'm really okay. Maybe I should change my name because that name, so in case I can even say I'm from Canada, My name is Misa from Canada. No one would know I'm a Nigerian. So thank you for sharing, your background, and thank you for letting us know how you jumped on this. It's actually amazing to see people doing, doing great in what they're actually doing and actually loving it. So thank you for sharing, Miss Son. It's so great to have you here. And I'm sure a lot of people who are looking to go into the marketing, growth, performance, sales will definitely learn from you today. So guys, those are the roles I'm telling you. Those are roles you can actually jump on. And yes, you can drop questions. Miss Son will definitely give you answers to that. So I'm going to jump on the next person right now, which is Idris, developer relations engineer. Idris, I would like to say that developer relations was one role I was actually looking to jump into, but then I actually realized I need to be speaking with those, programmers, software engineers, relating with them, and I cannot speak a lot of programming jargons as I wish I can. So I can't relate with them as much. So I'm in Mission's group. We are doing growth, we're doing sales, we're doing marketing all together. Is Idris here with us?
Yeah, of course, I'm here with you.
Okay. Hi, Idris. I can see you already
No, it's nothing so
ready to
special.
jump on it. You guys are always like, what is this code
Yeah.
doing? Why is this code? So please, Idris, I need to hear your background. And please tell us about, I need to hear a little bit of what you do on your role as a developer
All right.
relations engineer. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Idris Olubisi. I am a software engineer and a technical writer. I currently work as a developer relations engineer. So my background is a little bit, from, I studied electrical and electronics engineering at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University in the north. And so the whole thing about tech or transitioning into tech space started while I was in my finals, where I need to build a project and also at the same time, write some code. Because in the electrical and electronics department, there's so much belief in you writing something and building a model for it. It's not just about doing research. So I had to reach out to a couple of people to help with the programming. And while the guys were kind of taking me through the process of doing the same thing, they explain it in such a way that it feels like it's something I can understand, right? So that's where like the interest started. And immediately after school, like when I mean immediately after school, like immediately after final last exam, I didn't travel, everybody left. And I had to stay back to see if I could spend more time to learn maybe a bit of Python, HTML, CSS. While I was starting out, there was so much, things to learn. This person would say, learn this person would say, learn that. So I just tried to learn all of it. And the funny thing is that my system was stolen as at that time, and I had to use my phone. I used this app called Solo Learn. I don't know if anyone have heard about it. So they have like a mobile app. That was what I used to learn Python, to learn fundamentals of C++. And then immediately after that time, I just went for service. So service year was the year I had to struggle to find like, what's it called? A PC to just, continue the programming thing. Then got so good, I found like a dead PC with a blank screen. Then I just had to save up some fund and repair it so that I'll be able to, learn. And yeah, that's how the whole thing started, and gradually moved from, I got an internship role to a software engineering role. Then I've been like a backend developer. I've worked with like about 4 different companies remotely, apart from the first one, which is a Nigerian-based company. But after then, I've worked with people from the UK, US, and sometimes in Germany. And then before now transitioning into the Web3 space as a developer relations. So, but before then, I also create content. I do create like content for FreeCodeCamp, Alchemy, all of those guys, Blog Rockets, and all of those guys. So I just channel the same energy, transition into the Web3 space, and not just as a developer or as a smart contract developer or as a blockchain developer, but more than being a developer, as a developer relations person. So now basically what it means is, as a developer relations engineer, you do more than coding, you do community activities too, you provide value, you build relationships. So it basically depends on the company and your role at the company. So you could join a developer relations team and you just end up in the community space, right? Or you could join and end up as a marketer in the developer ecosystem. So it depends on what the company's goals are and also how they think they want to build their own developer ecosystem. So which part of my community thing, that's where I got to found, what's it called? I started Web3 Africa, which is a community focused on, connecting the dots, including both technical and non-technical individuals into the Web3 space. So I think that's the whole journey for me. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Idris. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Like your consistency and that, how should I put it? The willingness to learn and not giving up, like starting using a mobile phone. Wow. And, I have a lot of people, including myself, who have tried to learn Python. And I have a laptop, I have everything, and I still dropped out. So using a mobile phone to learn Python and still wait, no, I give it to you. Well done, Idris, and thank you for sharing that with us. So yes, Rosemary, how you doing? How are you doing? How is Access Bank doing? Hope you are releasing our money.
I'm sure you've gotten your money.
Thank you for joining us, Rosemary. So I would like you to do a brief background of yourself. How did you get here? Working with a bank like Access Bank I know Access Bank with various interview stage and all that. So please, where did you start from and how did you get here? Please share with us.
All right. Thank you, Tolu. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. It's very difficult to follow Idris with, the old developer jargons. You should have put me before him so that people listen to me. All right. Well, for me, I kind of stumbled into the tech space. I don't think I ever planned it. I didn't even know what I was getting into when I started. So I got well, when you get a job at Access Bank, the thing is you go through training and then you get posted. So you could be posted anywhere, right? So when I got posted, I was posted to the product management team. I did not know what it was, so I just flowed with it, and I was trying to see. Okay, so I was posted to manage consumer products. So consumer products in the bank are everything that people like you and I use. So your account, your loans, your mobile applications, your USSD strings, and all of that, right? So everything that people would use that banks create for us to use, that is what we manage. And so I started learning about product management. So for the first, I think 1 year, I kind of just went with the flow. So I was learning from my colleagues. I was trying to Google stuff. But in 2020, during COVID, I think that was when I became intentional about product management. So I had a lot of time. We weren't going to the office, so you could be working and taking side courses. So I started to take courses in product management, and then that was when I realized it was way more than I thought, right? So product management is basically you being an entrepreneur in another person's firm. So you're doing everything that you'll be doing if you own a business, right? So everything you will do to make your business succeed is what you're doing as a product manager to ensure that your product succeeds, right? So it's well, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing, I think, 4 years, and I've learned more, I've grown, I've participated in webinars like these. I've tried to learn as much as I can, and I'm really excited that I'm able to share what I've learned with everyone here today. So I guess I'll be sharing more as we go on.
All right, thank you so much, Rosemary. And it's quite interesting whereby people actually don't like, just like Rosemary said, she did not plan her journey, like she just jumped into it, and you have a safe landing and you're doing great in your field. That is quite great. So well done, Rosemary, and well done, and a big kudos to Access Bank. I know I'm saying this. All right, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for sharing with us. So I have Ayobami, product designer. Hi, Ayobami, how you doing?
Hi, hello, good morning.
Good morning. I cannot see you. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you guys. I'm in somewhere very close right now, so I won't be able to share my.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Okay. So how you doing, Ayobami? So I would like you to tell us a brief, tell us about yourself, your background. How did you become a product designer? How did you fall in love with product design? Please share with us.
Okay, actually, so I started my design career like somehow very early. I started 2013. Yeah, 2013. So I had to drop it due to the fact I don't have any laptop then. So when I later got a laptop, so I continued my graphic design career. So far I've been doing graphic design, branding, and so many stuff, and that's one of my big goals that I've been doing tech like since as early as maybe 2015. Introduced me to UI UX design. So then it was the Adobe XD coordinator for Nigeria. So he introduced me to tech. He said I should come and learn design and I should start designing products and the like. So he introduced me around 2018. Then I went for Adobe XD webinar, and that's how I get started about product design. So I've had so many challenges, and the best thing I think any product designer should do for himself is for him or her to get himself a mentor, a very good laptop, and make sure that he's really dedicated. Product design is actually very simple, to be honest. Like, I think that's one of the most easy part of tech you can actually do. Because when it comes to coding, coding is something else. But when it comes to product design, you can really learn quickly and you can move as fast as possible. I have guys who started 2020 and now they work at Flutterwave, Wise, and like. So starting product design is like, I don't have any option for me currently. It's not as if it's like a mistake or something, because the reason why I said I don't have any option is, during my IT, I studied mechanical engineering, so I wanted to do IT for level. I started applying for companies and we were writing exam, aptitude tests, and like. I know I'm very brilliant, so I should be able to pass. I was able to get some results and I passed many exams, but unfortunately, I don't know anybody. So I'm unable to get like an internship anyway. That's when I realized that, okay, this is getting real. So I have to like do something that can actually speak for itself in this kind of environment whereby I know nobody. So I have to really focus on product design and improve myself and become a better version of myself. So that's how I really venture into product design. That, okay, this is the only way, and this is the only way for me to really navigate through this world without getting depressed. So that is just my journey about product design, and I've worked for several companies. I started working as an internship at Dotted Dots. So then I moved to Kasham e-commerce. So Kasham e-commerce, we do e-commerce mainly, and then I've been able to like do more of UX than UI because I started that to conduct so many research, which have broadened my knowledge when it comes to product design. So the best advice I would definitely give someone who wants to transition into product design in this very particular industry is to, first of all, find a mentor and start with UX. Because the reason why I say you should start by UX is, if you start by like understanding the user you are actually designing something for, creating products for, then definitely for you to create something that users will like, that will definitely solve problems that clients will like, will be very easy. I started as a UI designer, so I know the kind of challenges I face until I have to go and learn UX. So starting with UX, like knowing more about user, which you yourself, you are a user yourself, but stop being biased and make sure that all the stuff you are doing is really concentrated on user. That is the best way for you to navigate into your design. Then you can then move into UI. Once you know the UX, creating UIs that will solve user problem will be very, very easy. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ayobami. Thank you. Love that you shared your journey and also gave us a hint. So if you're here and you're thinking of, okay, product design is what I would definitely want to go for. So you've heard from someone who has been there, done it. You need to. So yes, I usually advise people to learn a bit of both, but yes, Ayobami has pointed out that starting, getting ahead with UX is better. You learn UX, then you can go ahead to learn UI design. So product design, UX, UI, is on the same route. So guys, if you're looking to transition into product design, please, or UI UX, or you want to be a UI researcher or UX researcher, please take that advice. Please don't use it to eat swallow. Take that advice. So get to learn a bit of UX. So I think it's a transition thing, learn maybe as we are in the university, maybe 100 level, 200 level. So your fundamental state and using to learn a bit of UX before you proceed to UI. So that is for those who are looking to go into product design. So yes, thank you all for your introduction, your background stories, amazing. Learning from, getting to know a lot of professionals, getting to know a lot of amazing individuals is what I actually love to do best. So yes, I'm going to pass the mic to my colleague, Tomilola. Tomi would forge ahead with other questions and what we have to learn and do here. So hi, Tomi, are you with us?
Yes, Tolu, thank you so much for that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like our speakers have already started giving us quite a lot of information. Like they're already feeding us. It's very Ayobami. Ayobami has already spilled the beans, right? But thank you. I mean, that is why we're here. That is why we're here. We're here to, understand better. I mean, today's topic is navigating the tech space as a newbie. So, I mean, we have quite a number of newbies right here that are looking to understand how to, delve into whatever space they're interested in, whatever skill they're interested in. And I mean, the introduction alone from our speakers have done justice to that, but of course we are forging ahead. Now, before I go to another round of questions for, our speakers, I mean, one of our speakers mentioned something that was Rosemary. Rosemary mentioned that in Access Bank, because which I'm also aware of, that Access Bank, you have to do certain trainings and all of that. So, I mean, it's very important that if you're going to learn a tech skill, you should at least have the commitments, you should have the dedication to actually learn it. And if you're going to excel in that tech skill, you must be able to commit to it long enough. I mean, talk about what Idris said, how Idris had to learn with his phone, how he had to stay back in school. That is the show of commitment. So for you to excel in the tech space, you need the tech skill and you need dedication to excel in that tech skill. And then it will be easy for you to offer value in the tech space. And it's very important because I know quite a number of people joining this webinar are either learning the course already or are looking to learn the course. So I mean, this is the pointer, this is a sign for you. And here at Techies, we have an academy that caters to teaching tech skills. We run 6 programs. We run 6 programs, of which at least then we have a product management program, we have a product marketing program, we have a technical writing program, we have a UI UX design program, we have a social media management program, and we also have a business analyst program, right? So, and we have other programs that are going to be launched very, very soon. So, I mean, this is a sign for you to, just like our speakers have actually said, this is a sign for you to, pick that skill set that you are interested in, or you think you are interested in, because sometimes you might not have the complete confidence to say that, okay, this is what I want to do, but you have a liking, you are tilted towards a particular tech skill. Just pick it up and give it a bit of time and learn. And for our courses run for a duration of 8 weeks. That's 2 months. So if you are dedicated within those 2 months, you'll be able to to start out something with that particular tech skill. And I just wanted to mention that. So I'm going to be going to our speakers again now for another round of questions. And I'm going to be starting with Ayomiko, right? So Ayomiko, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you clearly.
All right, awesome. Sorry, Ayomiko, please, there's going to be a feedback form in the chat section, guys. So please, you use the feedback form in the chat section. My colleague is going to drop that very soon now. So you can just give us your feedback. Of course, I'm sure you've been enjoying this webinar so far. So I just want you to, fill in that feedback form. Tell us what you've learned. Tell us that you're actually learning good over here. And that would be really awesome. All right, so Ayomiko, I mean, I know we've been talking in the DM for a while, and I mean, you sound very interesting. You sound very jovial. And coming from the angle of the fact that you've studied international law and then you found yourself in social media management. I mean, and you already talked about your journey, how you got into it. So I want you to tell us some of the challenges, because I know that going into the tech space, going into social media management was definitely not easy. So I want you to share some of the challenges with us, so that people that want to also go into social media management can be aware of this, so they can have it in mind, because, of course, the tech space is not an easy space as well. It requires a lot of dedication, it requires a lot of time, commitment, and of course there are challenges along the way. So I want you to just talk to us, what are the challenges you faced, and how did you overcome these challenges as going into a tech space from a very, very different background entirely. So if you could just walk us through that, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Tomilola. Challenges. Well, I feel like in any job you do, you're definitely going to encounter challenges. And I'm just going to mention a few. Well, the first to be when you get into a new space that you're not used to, you feel left out, you feel, oh, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing things right. You're just starting out. Don't be so hard on yourself. I would say take time, see what other people are doing. If you can connect with other people, ask them, oh, hi, I'm just starting out. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Or can you help me with this? Reach out to people and ask for help. You can't do it alone. If you can join a community where there are people that do what you do to help you, ask questions, seek their opinions before you take certain actions, it would help you a lot. So that was one thing I struggled with. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to meet. I wasn't active like that on LinkedIn when I started. So LinkedIn was out of it. It was just me in my own bubble trying to figure out everything. But once the pandemic started, I would say I started taking courses. So it sort of helped me to know that, oh, you can't do this alone. You have to look for people that do this thing that you do and communicate to them, ask them questions and see if they can help you. So that's just one. Reach out to people. Second one I'm going to mention is everybody feels a social media manager's work is very simple. It's not the hardest compared to tech bros, backend developers, and all that, but it's still not as
kind of hard.
yeah, exactly. It has own kind of hard. It's not also the easiest because you are basically the creative director. If it's a small business, you're the marketing executive or manager. You are doing maybe a social media manager. Sometimes you do 2 to 3 other job roles. So don't see it as 2 to 3 other job roles. See it as I'm making a difference in this space in what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So you just have to learn maybe extra things, copywriting, because I'm not going to lie, no company is going to, okay, no small business, don't let me say no company, no small business is going to employ a social media manager, then maybe employ a copywriter, exactly. Then maybe employ a graphics designer, then maybe employ a content creator. So sometimes just prepare your mind that you're going to have to do everything. Mm-hmm. When I first started, I was very, why should I do that? Why should I? Along the line, I saw that if you don't do it, like I started doing it for the experience, so that I even started begging and saying, oh, please, can I do this for you? So that on my own side, when I'm writing to my resume, I will write, I did content creation, I did graphics design, I did this and I did that for somebody. So it looks good for you, but at first you might see it as, oh, you're struggling and all that. Like, zero that mindset of, oh, I'm doing 5 people's job. Just if you can do it, do it. If you have the time to do it, put your mind to it and do it. Another one would be finding a community. Okay, I think I mentioned finding a community of people. First, finding a community, communicating with people. Second, you have to stay on top of trends. Trends like, for example, YouTube now has YouTube Shorts. You can't say, oh, you're not going to follow the new trend. People's attention span is short these days. That's why you have videos with transitions. You have all those things. So you can't be doing something of that worked in 2016 in 2023. It's not going to give you results. So you need to know, okay, you have to think like the customer sometimes. What do these people want to see? What do they expect to see? So aside being a social media manager, your whole creative, you can be very creative and all that, and you are not seeing things from the view of how the end user wants to see it. So sometimes you have to put yourself in the end user's position. And I think I struggled with that too, because I always felt when people are saying, oh no, do it like this, and I'm like, sorry, this is not what the books tell me. Sometimes you don't have to go by the books, because sometimes the books might not be updated. Mm-hmm. So if you have this feeling of, oh, step out my comfort zone, I should follow this trend. Sometimes it's not all the trends you follow that would give you the results you want to see, but just do it. It's out there and people see that you did it, you tried it. So those are just like a few things that I feel like I struggled with when I started, because I was just in my bubble, still trying to figure it out. But over time, when you start doing something, you start getting a hang of it. Also, time management. When I started taking on more than one client at a time, because I started as a freelancer before I started working with companies.
Okay.
When I started, when I was just doing for small business, when I was working for small businesses, I would say, oh, I would post manually and all that. And I was exhausted. I was tired because you're posting for this one, you're posting for that one, you're posting. So please, you can increase your prices if you feel like, oh, a scheduling tool is going to help you better. Like, work smart, don't work hard. Don't. At first, I was like, oh, the money. At that time, I don't think dollar was as expensive as it is now. So I was the money. I'll not go and pay one company. No, please. If you can afford to pay that company to make your life easy by scheduling your things or other things, please do it. All you need to do is go back and review your prices or increase your price. But just do it. It's not, everything is not suffered. We're already suffering in Nigeria to add too much struggle to your life for you to come and be, oh, it's a do or die. It's not a do or die affair. If there are simpler ways to make your life easy, if it's also a social media manager, you feel like you don't have the time to do graphics and the company can afford to help you get a graphic designer, or you can afford from your salary to pay an external person to do those things for you, please do it. Because it gave me burnout. Then I was having creative write blocks. So if you're having creative write blocks, sometimes take a break too, because social media managers always feel, oh, this trend, that trend, that. Please, we need to learn to take a break. Take the back seat sometimes, sit down, clear your head, take a walk, listen to music, engage with your family. It's not every time you're on your phone, pressing your phone, because I think it's a bad habit that most of us have, always on our phones, always this and that. So sometimes take a break. Yes, take a break, relax, clear your head, go on a social media cleanse. Don't open your phone for the next 2 days, for 2 hours, or how many times in a day. Sometimes just clear your head. So I think, yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you so much, Ayomiko. I mean, you've given us more than more than just a tip. You've given us the detailed roadmap to follow as regards social media management. Thank you for that. I mean, you really made very, very solid points out that you must have a community, out that you must not learn solo, right? You must always talk to people such that you can be able to avoid certain things, certain mistakes and all of that. I think that's very important for a lot of us. And of course, that is why it's very important that you join a community. When you're interested in any skill, the first thing to do is, after you've done your research and you know that you're interested in this particular skill, just join the community, see how people work, see how people communicate, see how they, live their life. Just have an idea of how things work, and that will just put you on the right track. So thank you so much for that. That was very, very apt. That was very apt. Thank you so much. All right. Riku said social media management is not hard. Sorry, it's hard rather. I mean, every tech skill says is hard. So I want to hear from the tech bro in the house, Idris. So there are different kind of hard. There is the social media management skill that is kind of hard to learn, and there is the development part. And I also know that you are a technical writer, and I want you to really touch more on the technical writing aspect, right? I want you to, can you hear me, Idris, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, great. So I want you to help us touch on the technical writing aspect part. How did you venture into technical writing? I mean, what spurred you? Because I know when I went through your LinkedIn profile, I saw that you work as a technical writer for quite a number of companies, right? So I'm very curious, and I'm sure a lot of us in the house are also curious to why you delve into technical writing and how technical writing has actually contributed to your growth. Because I know that you have you founded the company called Web3 Africa. So I want you to explain how technical writing actually contributed to your the growth of the company and your growth in a sense as a developer and the technical writer too, in a sense, how technical writing actually helped your journey.
Yes, thank you very much, Tony. So basically, there's, in my own opinion, right, there's no field that is hard, like there's soft hard, there's hard, right? So, but one thing I used to believe is that if you if you want to learn more about something, you just need to go for it. And while doing that, you are likely to see like quite a number of challenges, right? Getting started, finding your way, trying to navigate, and all of that. So I also believe that if you really want to, because there's one particular quote, like one thing that which is the SACPA driven development. That literally drives me. That literally drives me every time. Because I used to feel like, okay, if I don't do this thing, then how are you going to get paid? How are you going to survive and all of that? So I think that's what even, kind of give me the mindset that, okay, how do I even get paid? But at first, while I started writing, I didn't know they pay technical writers per content, or if you create the content, they pay you, right? I just create content, for my own revisiting, or just a way for me to help people publicly, because I do see a lot of content and I do use like quite a lot of them. And then when I started, I think my first ever client paid me $200 that time, and I was earning around $100 that time. So within,
was that?
it was 2019. I think 2019/2020. Okay, yeah, it was 2019, and like late 2019, I started writing free content, but the paid one came through 2020, right? And so I was earning, like, just imagine somebody gave you like twice of your salary within 2 weeks, right? And 2 weeks is because of the review time. Normally, it's just supposed to be like within 1 week, you get your content published and you get paid for it. So I think there was a little bit delay in the review process and all of that. So that got me like, so if I could wait like 1 month to get half of this, then I can write and get this within just two weeks, right? I think there's something interesting about this technical writing thing. And I started, putting in more effort because I wanted to learn more about the whole technical writing. I get feedback from them. I still write free content too, because these are the ways you can show potential, guys that, okay, I know how to write. I've written this, I've written that. So I also started writing for Free Code Camp. Of course, as the name implies, Free Code Camp. You write for free, but they give you like very good review to shape the way you write, and that honest review will just help you and change your life. And I think that's like what literally just helped me, go faster when it comes to technical writing, because of those feedback I got from experts in the field. And again, to also put it out there that I work as a backend developer. So I wasn't doing full-time. I wasn't doing writing full-time. I was doing like every weekends like this. I would just intentionally skip some O&Ms just to stay back for me to, create content, so that I can, publish those contents like in the coming week. So that backend development, I'm always doing code. So when I'm not coding, I'm probably writing, or I'm just relaxing somewhere. So that's helped me like over time, till I started, sharing those content to quite a lot of people via my Twitter. No engagement at first, right? Zero engagement, but I just keep posting, keep writing. So anytime there's like a role for me to shoot my shot, I just kind of collate all my sample content and share. So if you are looking like to get into the technical writing space, of course it's always open, but the thing is that you need to pick a niche, and also you need to understand why you want to write. So for my own case, when I got paid, I now realize that, okay, the reason why I want to do this is for me to even get better, and also the software-driven development thing, right? I don't want to get
That's always the factor.
yeah. So then, but in as much I was thinking software-driven development, I still try as much as possible to still write free content, right? Like open content. When I mean free content, it could be on my blog or free code camp, right? So those are the ways I keep myself up to date with some of the things that I need to know about in technical writing, and also like open myself to opportunities for more people to reach out, or maybe if I want to submit an application. And guess what? I do submit applications like that for technical writing gigs. Like most of them, I do come across them via Twitter or sometimes directly in my DM, right? So there are opportunities attached to you being a technical writer and also building in public. So building in public in this case means that when you create those content, you try to share them. You try to share them on LinkedIn, whatever social media platform you think you are active on, right? You share it, you engage with community, you engage with other people's posts. You choose the right platform. There's no good or bad platform, right? But you just need to choose the platform that at least have like community base where people can get to see what you're doing. And even though they are not the right audience for all your content, right? So those are like the things I think I did personally on my own to grow as a technical writer. And then that helped me while I was transitioning into the Web3 space, where I have not even transitioned. I still work as a backend developer that year. And I started, I get paid to write for a company in the Web3 space because I started learning about it. Then I didn't just learn on my own. I just keep it. When I learn anything in the Web3 space, then I just document them and share them. So I got like that opportunity to write for some Web3 companies while I was still, a backend developer. But that's because I was really, really interested in the blockchain technology and all of that. So, why then after transitioning into the Web3 space, I figured like a lot of people are trying to, navigate or trying to find their way also in the Web3 space. That's why I started the Web3 Africa community. I had a discussion with Nader Adabit, which is like one of the pros in the Web3 space. He flew down to Lagos, I think, last year for the Oscar Fest. There's a particular festival like that do happen yearly. And we had a discussion, and that's how the whole thing started. And so good, I have like about 4 of us on the core team where we kind of strategize, think through, and I have like a couple of moderators that handles community thing within the server and all of that. So all of this boils down to like, I think, preparing yourself ahead of time and letting like opportunities find you. So that's why I mentioned earlier on that there's no field that is hard. And then there's different type of hard, right? There's soft hard, there's hard. So you need to choose the kind of hard you want. So if it's soft hard, then it means that you're open to learn, you're open to for opportunities, you're open for feedback. Because one thing that makes like learning so difficult is if you are not open to feedback. Some people are not just open to feedback, they just want to learn. They feel they've seen like curriculum online and they are good to go. One thing you should consider is that some curriculum are prepared by people that stays in the Europe, right? And the environment there is different from the environment in Africa. You can be in Europe and learn for 4 months and you get an internship role. And you can follow the same roadmap here in Nigeria and you'll be there for 2 years without and like a role. So It's always important to understand. That's why when I see any community focusing on, tech newbies, how they navigate, techies and all of that, I'm always interested to support in my own way, because I know there are a lot of people struggling and a lot of people that just don't want to hear from you, right? They want to do their thing, they are good, they are this, they are that, they've seen that roadmap that will help them land a job in 2 months, they've seen this, they've seen that, they just think that's all about it. Yeah, so I think that's basically it for me, right?
Wow, thank you so much, Idris. I mean, that was very, very on point. I think I learned a lot of things from what you said, right? The first one is not SDD. I like
Yeah,
SDD. So
this
I
is
mean,
very
because quite a
important.
lot of people want to go into tech because of they want to make money, they're just interested in it. And I feel like that's fine, but you must still be able to commit to it because it's
Yeah,
not a gets rich quick scam
yeah,
or something, right? So it still requires a lot of dedication, requires a lot of commitment, just like you said. And like you said, we have soft ad and ad, and you have to
yeah,
always
exactly.
look forward to getting feedback just so you can know. Quite a lot of edutech companies that push out academy to teach students. They make it seem as if after they are done teaching you, that is the end, and you just get a job. But that's just the beginning.
Exactly.
That's just the beginning. It just opens your mind to the possibilities. Now you have the skill, you have to show proficiency, you have to
Yeah,
work
I
on
think that's some
projects.
form of marketing. I think Misol could, contribute to this.
Exactly.
Like that's some sorts of marketing, right? So they give you like that one liner, hey, learn backend development in 2 months and land your first role. So they want to get people excited to join, to put all of these things together, right? So that you can get more people into that particular cohort or particular training. And before you know it, when they now join, after 2 months, you now start telling them, oh, it's the starting point. And they'll be like, oh, that means probably they might not even tell you that you mislead them, right? They'll just let you know, oh, man, I think I can't continue this journey. Meanwhile, the reality is that you can do 6 months and get an internship role, good for you. You can still do that. You can do 1 year, 2 years without any role, right?
Exactly.
And you
It depends
still be doing it.
on what you do. It depends on
Yeah,
what
and the
the
kind of
steps you take.
community, the kind of
Yeah.
community also play like a major role. If I'm to start my career like all over again from the very beginning, I would take building relationship very, very important. Not because of job, but because let me just have you in my connection. Maybe connect on LinkedIn, I get to have your personal contact. I won't disturb you. We'll just be viewing ourselves, our status, like each other's status. I won't message you. I just wanted to have you within my network.
Yeah,
So should in
that's true.
case we meet somewhere or there's an opportunity, you can share with me and I can also request or share with you any opportunity. So building relationship is also like a key for anyone that is willing to navigate the tech space as a newbie. Like when I mean navigate, working smart, not hard. So
Just like
building
you said,
relationship is very good. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. I mean, that was very profound, right? So, I mean, just like Idris rightly said, it doesn't matter how long you're going to learn a tech skill for. It depends on what you do after you learn, right? And he mentioned one thing that is very important: build relationships, join communities that will just point you in the right direction, that will be there to to spur you and motivate you, such that when you see people doing certain things, you know that, okay, you can also do it if you commit to it. And I think that's a very vital lesson that Idris has really pointed out. Thank you so much again, Idris, for that. That was really profound. Again, I say, I think some people just joined. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this webinar. I mean, if you're just joining now, I mean, it's not too late. We still have a lot of speakers on board that are going to walk us through a lot of things. Right there in the chat section, my colleague is sharing our feedback form. So please do make sure you fill our feedback form. I mean, this filling our feedback form will enable you to get access to this recorded video, recorded session as well. And of course, we'll get to reach out to you personally to continue to follow you up and have interactions with you. So it's very important. Please do fill the feedback form, right? And of course, we're going to be moving on. I mean, it's getting really exciting right now. So, Mr. Can you hear me? Okay, I think you're muted. So
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, great. All right, great. So, Mr. I mean, you have quite a number of experience as a product marketer, as a growth and a performance marketer. So, I mean, if you were to advise a newbie, like let's say someone that is just interested, probably has little or no knowledge about product marketing. If you were to advise someone like that comes to meet you that, okay, I want to go into product marketing, do you have a roadmap to give the person and probably likely things to look out for and certain things to avoid in trying to on him or her trying to gain access into that particular part of the tech space. I want you to just, give someone out there a possible roadmap and advice and how to, launch out into the product marketing space or the growth and performance marketing space as well.
Okay. So I think everything that the previous two speakers said, I think they were all valid. That exposure and that self-determination to sort of learn a lot is very crucial. But I just want to approach this from a different perspective. So if you're looking at the screen now, I think most technology companies sort of divided into two major groups. So I think the three speakers at the top are what we refer to as the product department, right? So you have the engineer there, the product manager, and the UI UX and the product designer, right? And then the two people at the bottom.
Eye for details.
Yeah.
Right.
And the two people at the bottom are what you sort of refer to as the customer department, right? So why am I saying this? I think every tech business, every business out there exists to make profits, to make money, right? And I think I sort of realized that at a later stage, but I think if you're entering tech, you need to understand that every business exists to make money, and that is just their sole purpose, right? Making money. If you look at recently, there has been layoffs by a lot of these big tech companies, right? You're looking at there's this acronym they use, FANG. So FANG is basically Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. They've all laid off thousands of people. If you recently read the reports on the classification of people that got laid off, but you're looking at most of them were from HR departments, about 28 to 30%. Software engineers had about, I think 25%. Marketing was 7%. Data scientists, 2%. So why am I saying this? I think the current environment is, I would say, very different from the environment that most of us, or most of the speakers on this call came up with. Now the economy is adjusting for that whole COVID period, right? So if you look at startups, it's hard now to get a lot of funding for whatever startup you're trying to raise and all those kind of things. So right now, businesses are very, very cost conscious, right? So if you're going to get into product marketing or any tech role as it may be, I think my own advice would be, I think there are two types of people. There are the specialists and there are the generalists. Specialists sort of focus on one core skill, and then they just sort of double down on that core skill for the rest of their career, right? And then there are the generalists that sort of try to get a lot of touch on different parts of the departments that sort of make up a tech company, right? So so going back to my classification of the speakers for this call, I think if you're looking at entering, definitely reading is required, taking courses, yes, that's required. Like Idris said, the most tech courses, they always tell you that, yes, you can get a job 2 weeks after you graduate or whatever. It's definitely marketing. That is the only way you're going to get people to sign up for your course anyways. But I think regardless of all these things, you need to be, you need to have a broad horizon, right? So if you look at my own situation, I think I started off in digital marketing. So basically the simple thing I used to do was run ads, generate leads for the business, and that was it. Then you go into an agency where, okay, they're asking you, run ads for us, generate leads for our business, and give us a plan on how to make money from these people that you sort of generated from your ads, right? So now your more responsibilities come your way. You have to sort of justify, okay, I gave you a list of 100 people, right? And this is my plan on how you can make money from these 100 people. Then you leave the agency side and then you go into like client side, where now the clients, where you're totally responsible because you have to report to the business owner, to the CEO, right? I ran these ads, I got these leads, and this is the money that, I sort of got from the ad budgets that you gave to me, right? So my advice would be, if you're going into product marketing, I wouldn't necessarily say you should view it as just product marketing. I think social media management is a part of product marketing as well. I think product management, eventually, the more you progress, you realize that product management is a part of product marketing. UI UX is also a part of product marketing. For product marketers, I think the core thing is you're the bridge between the products and the customers out there, right? There's a statistic that's out there that says 80% of all startups fail. I have worked across a couple of startups as a side gig and as my main gig. I have witnessed that statistic in real life effects, right? 80% of all startups fail. Now you now look at how do most startups come into being. I think most of them are mainly developed by engineers who have the ability to develop products. These are very high-skilled engineers. They develop an app, they develop a website. Cool. But then they develop that app without concrete customer information, right? So when you do things like this, you just realize that your product is going to fail. I'll give you a major example. During 2020, there was a product called Quibi. It was supposed to be an alternative to Netflix. So I just want to give the example that we know that it's not, in my own advice would not be that you focus on one core area. So they were supposed to be a competitor to Netflix. I think they raised about $2 billion in funding. They had a lot of hardcore known people in the industry working on this project. But I'll tell you that product did not last 4 months and they shut it down. So that's $2 billion of investor money wasted. The product didn't go anywhere. If you read the story, you can just check it online. If you read the story, that is what happens when you build a product without customer insights, right? So what I'm saying now is this: if you want to be a software developer, in this day and age where businesses are looking for more of generalist people than just specialists, if you want to be a software developer, it will help if you sort of have so a little bit of skill on carrying out customer research, right? If you want to be a UI UX person, I think it will help if you have a little bit of skill in marketing. Right? If you want to be a social media person, have a little bit of skill in UI UX. You get what I'm saying? So I think so relating to people who are sort of beginners on this thing, I think reading a lot of blog articles, a lot of publications out there is definitely good. I prefer to take, mainly because of like my academic background, I take a lot of academic approach to a lot of these things. So I prefer to read research papers. So these are like theses that people have written. That might not be your thing because those papers are usually like 50 pages long. But what I'll say is if you do get the opportunity to read these papers, there is no way your level of knowledge will be the same before you read that paper. Right? Because the way it works is these are people who have sort of gone to like take master's programs, and then you have to write. I'm sure like in university, most of us wrote like theses on specific things. These people have written theses on things that are pertinent to your role, right? So I think that's for me is like a bank of information that I would just normally like to read. Relationship building, I'll say that is another thing as well. But then these days, I think the economy is just too hard right now. If you find somebody that is willing to build a relationship with you, I think that is a gift from God. Because I myself have tried that approach as well. But I think at the same time, I think it's a lot of self-learning that is required. I started as a digital marketer, then I sort of learned on growth marketing. Then from growth marketing right now, I'm sort of going into like data science, machine learning and all these kind of things. So yeah, for me, I would say everything that every other person said, but at the same time, just try and broaden your horizon, right? That would be my first advice. My second advice would be, I don't think you have to wait till you get a job before you build your portfolio. I think with the skills that tech requires, you can embed a lot of those things into hobbies that you have, right? So why I'm saying this is because there was a data scientist article I was reading from one of these young Nigerians. right? Which I think is still in university at the point of that article. What he did was he obviously he plays FIFA a lot. He got a lot of the data from FIFA downloaded. I don't know how he got that data, I don't know, but he got a lot of that data. He created a sort of algorithm where you could like sort of compare, okay, this is the height of a player on FIFA, and then this is the sort of predicted speed you would have, right? So what I'm saying is we all do basic things on a daily basis. If it's a social media management that you want to get into, I think you don't necessarily have to wait for someone to give you like a gig, right? There are things you use on a daily basis. There are products you use. You can sort of start creating your portfolio based off the passions that you have. For me in growth marketing, I sort of started looking at, okay, these are some products that I love. How would I approach it? As opposed to how the products and their company initially approached it. I was reading a story about somebody, a photographer in the UK, who had applied for like several gigs and then he didn't land anything. What he did was he started taking Nike shoes and creating ads, right? These were definitely not company-made ads, but he created the ads and then he sent it to them that this is something you can do. These are the flaws in your current ad. This is how you can improve all those kind of things. So I think so related to what you said, having a portfolio, I think that is definitely crucial. But then I wouldn't say, because I think people I've spoken with, they sort of give their excuse that they haven't gotten access to the portfolio. I think if you really want something, where there's a will, there's a way, right? I think our parents have always told us that. So if you really want something, there's a way to get it. That's just what I'm saying. There's a way to get it. If you can build a portfolio from anything. And I think one thing that most maybe Nigerians might not appreciate, but like companies abroad appreciate is that, first of all, ability to, take responsibility for like all of these tasks that you do, but also as well as the uniqueness of the things that you've worked on. Right? I think that is a very crucial thing that they also sort of look into. When you're applying for remote roles these days, they sort of ask you to do case studies, right? They sort of say, okay, you said that this is what you can do. Give us a plan. Prove that you can do what you said you can do, right? Exactly. Yeah. So I know everybody here is probably looking for $1 paying job. That one is standard. But in my first share of job applications, I know that is something they will definitely ask you, right? Prepare a case study, prepare this, prepare that, and that's where I say your portfolio will speak for you if you have a portfolio. So that one is definitely crucial. But at the same time, an underrated skill you get from building a portfolio is the ability to address problems, right? Address problems no matter whatever problem comes your way, or no matter whatever problem they might ask you. The ability to sort of think critically and address the problem on the fly. I think that is something that you get from building a portfolio. So yeah. So related to your question on product marketing, just everything they've said, take courses. That one is definitely crucial. You have to learn, you have to read, but at the same time, it's one thing to take a course. It's one thing to apply a course to like specific business situations. Build a portfolio whereby all those knowledge that you've gotten from your courses, you applied it, to real life situations. And I think at that point, there's nothing they can say again because your work definitely speak for you.
Wow, thank you so much. Like that was that was so insightful. That was a lot of points to put down. And thank you so much. Even though you said you're not going to say a lot, you still did. And I'm going to really check that case study about the Quebec, the QB something, the QB.
Yeah, I think I'll just post it on
Netflix.
I'll post it on the chat. So
all right, thank you. That would be lovely. Thank you so much, Nison. I mean, so product marketers, aspiring product marketers in the house. I think Nison has cleared the ground for you guys. So besides just learning, be ready to practice what you learn, be ready to build your portfolio. And you can easily do that with anything around you, right? And I mean, that's the beauty about product marketing. There are a lot of products around you, products that you use on a daily, and you can definitely do that All right, thank you, Mr. for posting that on the chat section. All right, so I mean, you can definitely build a portfolio with the products that you use on a daily, and that would give you an edge, just like Mr. said. Thank you so much. And we're moving on to Rosemary, but before that, please, guys, remember to fill the feedback form. It is very important. I mean, this is your way of telling us that this session is worth your time. This is a way of telling us that this session was very impactful for you. And I mean, we were looking forward to seeing you through the feedback form and to getting in touch with you, based off of your feedback. Thank you so much, guys. All right, and we're moving to Rosemary. Hi, Rosemary. Can you hear me? Good morning again.
Hi, good morning, Tommy.
All right. Yeah, all right, awesome. So, I mean, product management, I think this is one tech skill that is really, that is really buzzing out there. A lot of people, if I meet 10 people, I'm sure like 5 of them will be product managers or something like that. And it's just so interesting. So, I mean, looking back at it now, you mentioned that you stumbled into product management as it were. That you stumbled into product management, but looking at it in retrospect, do you think it's actually worth it? And if it is, I mean, in about 3 minutes or thereabout, just tell us why you think product management is actually worth it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tumilola. I think it's been a very interesting session. I've also been learning. So yes, I stumbled into product management, like I said earlier, but I think that it is great that people are actually learning to be product managers. Like people actually are taking time to be intentional about it. I wish I had that, right? So I probably wouldn't have struggled as much as I did. Okay, so when I started product management, one of the things that happened to me was I joined the bank during the very popular merger with Diamond Bank. So I think everybody knows about that. Yeah, so that was when I joined the bank, and in my team, quite a number. In fact, everybody in my team was from the old Diamond Bank. So they kind of felt cheated out of their bank. So everybody was leaving. So in about 3 months or 4 months thereabout, I was the only person left in my team. So I had, of course, banks were on budget. So I had like a very, very huge budget, and I was the only one. And I was a newbie, so I knew nothing about product management, right? And so that was when I started to ask people. I started to try to learn from. I would go to. So I was in consumer, but I would go to businesses, people who manage products for business, and I would try to learn. Okay, so what do you guys do when you have this kind of challenge? And I started to learn like that. And in all of that time, in fact, Google was my best friend. So I was always, they would say something, I would not know what it means. I would just go on Google and type it and try to understand what it meant. So it took a lot of work, but there is no way I would wake up today and say it was not worth it. The hard work was actually worth it, right? I have learned a lot. I have improved myself as a person, um, and I have truly understood what product management is, right? So if I was going to tell you what I think product management is, or what you should be looking out for, right? I would say that just remember that you're creating products for someone, or you're managing products that are going to be used by someone. So the user is at the center of everything you do. So first think the user. What does the user want to do with this product? In fact, before you even create a product, the people that want to use it, do they even need the product? Most times, I can say something about how you have different challenges based on where you work, right? So for me, I work in a very big company, and because I work in a big company, right, most times we create products, we just churn out products because we think that that's what people want, not really because it is what people want. So the first thing you need to do as a product manager is think the user. Do they really need this product? What are you solving for them? So if I am giving you already have a mobile application, and I'm creating another application. I said this one is just for you to buy recharge cards. Do you really need that application to just buy recharge cards when you can buy recharge card or your mobile
Yeah, your
application?
mobile app, yeah, true.
Do you understand? So why am I creating the product? Is it because I want to just sell more, or I want to make more money, right? So always think, the user, what do they need? Now, after you've now thought, okay, so you find out that yes, they truly need this thing. The next thing is in your product development now. Think about how you want the users to navigate the product, right? So I think this is why I say that product management is very versatile. So you should learn several things. So you need to think user journey, you need to think customer experience as well, right? So how do you want them to navigate the product? Would it be that you want to buy something and you're just going on a straight line, but you have to find like 5 corners before you reach where you're going, right? So you need to ensure that it's a very seamless process. If it means going to learn UX design just to know the basics, right? If it means going to learn UI just to know how you want the interface or whatever you're creating to look like, you should invest in that, right? So after that, the next thing is then going to be product sales, right? So now you have created this product, you have launched it into the market, but like Mason said, everybody is trying to make money. There is no business that exists because they love people and they just want to just be meeting people's needs. They also want to create, they also want to get value from whatever they've created, right? So the next thing is product sales. How are you able to now get people to use your product, and then how are you able to get them to use it repeatedly? It's going to be a very terrible product if I used your product once and after that I'm like, no, I'm never going back there, right? Is you've created rubbish if somebody does that, right? So you need to ensure that people use your product and they use it repeatedly. In fact, your customers should be your marketing agents, right? So they should be able to refer people. They should be able to tell people that come and use this product that I saw, right? So that you don't even have to do so much of marketing once you have a good product. And then finally, a PM needs to know when to stop, right? So there are products that you have created them for a reason. I'm sure that there were products that were very great and fantastic during the COVID time. But now you want to extend it beyond COVID, and people are like, I can't see value, right, in this product any longer. So you need to know when to stop and innovate. You need to know when to say, okay, so this product has met the name that we designed. So either we are tweaking it to ensure that it is still meeting it, or we even end it totally, right? It's always good to end on a high note. So we're doing well, not that then your product becomes a failing product and then people are asking you what's even the use of this product, right? So all of these are the things that I have learned in my time as a product manager, right? I have learned to consider people or the users of the product, put them at the center. Whatever you're doing, just always think the users before you even think of the product. Think about the users. What do the users want? How are the users enjoying your product? Do the users want you to continue? Do you think this is a good time for you to withdraw the products from the market, right? So as a product manager, that should be like your core concern and what you are looking out for. I hope I was able to at least answer your
Definitely. I mean, that
question in
was
some time.
very, very straight to the point and detailed and straight to the point. Thank you so much, Rosemary. I mean, that was coming from someone that was, should I say, was a bit clueless when you got into product management. See what you've been able to achieve over the couple of years you've worked there. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So, product managers in the house, I think you are settled. Basically, you already have an idea of what it entails. You have an idea of what to look forward to. So it's going to be an amazing journey for you guys. And I know for a fact that you are going to excel in product management as long as you're committed and you do the work that you're supposed to do. Thank you so much again for that, Rosemary. And I'm finally, Ayobami, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, awesome. Great to have you here again. Right. So my question for you is just very simple. There's this force about you must be a graphic designer before you become a product designer. You must have social background in design before you go into product design, blah, blah, blah. I want you to, in 2 to 3 minutes, just tell us why you can actually excel as a UI UX designer, even though you don't have a design background. Though I know a design background is an advantage, but I want you to be able to clear the air that you don't necessarily have to have a design background as it were to be able to excel as a UI UX designer. Thank you. If you could touch on that, that would be great.
All right. So basically, in product design, or let me say UI UX design, we have we have what we call T-shaped designers, and we have generalist designers. So generalist designers are designers that have knowledge in like all all part of product design. And we have T-shaped designer, which are the designers that are good in one part and they have knowledge about others too, but they are very good in one part. So product design is is a very wide area. And people think it's just about drawing shapes or something. So you can be a product designer without even knowing how to draw anything. You can be a UX researcher. You can even work in, let me say, in customer relation parts of it, that is interviewing users and like creating, like conducting interviews and doing so many stuff when it comes to product design. So it's not compulsory you really know how to draw. And even if you really want to learn how to draw, there is this man, who I think is a professor, Rudolf Volkan. Rudolf Volkan said all sales comes from previous existing sales. So before we can have iPhone 14, then we already have iPhone 13. And they actually improved on iPhone 13. That's how we can have iPhone 14. So all the things you need to get started are already online. You can go to Dribble, Pinterest, Behance to go and look for inspiration whenever you want to design. So becoming a UI designer is like somehow very easy. You just have to improve on other people's design. Then that's how you become creative. So that is the best approach for you to like move fast, know how to do UI very well. But it's not compulsory you do UI part of product design. You can focus on UX. You can be the person conducting research and creating solutions to people's problems. So the users will definitely have problems. Your own is to know the problem, identify it, and find a very unique solution that will tackle all form of problems user can never experience on your product. So you can actually work in the research part or you work in the design part. So we have many niche. We have UX researcher. We have some people even study communication. When it comes to communication, we have interaction, we have motion, we have visual, we have AR, VR. So because some very recent, Meta started their project, they are creating all these AI, VR stuff. So we need designers for that. So you can also venture into that. It's not compulsory, you are really good with UI and you can be very good at US. So depending on whatever you want to do, you just have to focus. And you can also be a generalist and be good at all aspects. So, for example, me currently, I work at Kaggle, and Kaggle we do tech projects. So I work as an, let me say, intermediate between the developers and the designers. Because whenever designers design, many of them don't have development knowledge. So we do have problems like handing over designs to developers. And for example, let me say backend developers, they need to like study more about the prototyping of the applications. So they need to know more about the prototyping of the applications, the flows and everything, like so that we'll be able to create backend that will actually solve all the form of problem the application is trying to solve. So many designers don't know that. So I like bridge that very particular gap and make work easier for back-end developers. Same thing goes to front-end developers. I have development knowledge, so I do create like designs, style guide and everything in CSS, and for them to be able to create products, for them to be able to speed up their development process and bridge the gap and make sure that they really understand whatever project we are working on. So design is very easy, to be honest. Design is very easy.
You said that, you've iterated that over and over again, and I'm sure people believe you now. Just put in the work, contribute your time, dedicate your time, and commit to it, and it will be a good one. Thank you so much, Ayobami. That was very impressive. So you don't necessarily have to fit into just UI design alone. There's UX. There are different aspects. I think the most important thing about UI UX design is understanding the user in terms of what you present to them and even how they tend to receive what you present to them. And that is very, very interesting. So guys, I think our speakers they've been delightful. They've been very, very, straight to the point in answering our questions. And I can say for a fact that if you're a newbie in tech, or even if you are just curious and just starting out in tech, you have gotten quite a lot of information on how to navigate the tech space in either of these tech skills, either as a technical writer, a product manager, a product marketer, a product designer, or even a social media manager, right? And I think that's really profound. And it's very, very important that I mention this to you because to be able to excel in the tech space, you need a tech skill. So the first and most important thing is, learning a tech skill. Of course, learning a tech skill, like I will always say, is just a means. There is an end in mind. Why are you learning the tech skill? It's because you want to, get a good job in the tech space. You want to be a social media manager. You want to be a product designer, a product marketer, product manager, technical writer, or even, business analyst, or whatever you're interested in. But you have to learn the skills before you can actually take the next step to doing this. And that is why we are here at More Techies. More Techies, we are in the business of helping you, at first learning this tech skill. We are there to equip you with the right knowledge about this tech skill. And like I mentioned earlier, our courses are a ton of courses, but currently we are running 6 courses and others are going to be launched very soon. Currently we run product management, product marketing, technical writing, social media management, business analysis, UI UX design, as well as UI design, as well as social media management. So these 6 courses are what we run currently, and we have an academy that is 100% virtual, and the academy is such that you are able to go through the syllables of these courses in a matter of 8 weeks, 2 months. Now, we're not saying after these 8 weeks you will get your first job, but this will put you on the right track. And now you can confidently tell a hiring company that I have so and so skills. But of course, we don't just stop there, because you can't just learn a tech skill and just show up at a company and say, I've learned so tech skill, here's my certificate. They have to also see what you can or have done, you understand? Just like what Nisa said, and a lot of our speakers said, you have to present something, you have to build a portfolio. And that is why we have something we call the Talent Accelerator Program. This Talent Accelerator Program is our initiative of helping you demonstrate proficiency and build your experience in whatever tech skill you've learned, right? And this is not just limited to, learning from us. Also, if you maybe already in the tech space, but you're looking to land a better job, you're looking to explore in another part of tech, and you've learned about it, this is actually an opportunity for you to build experience. So this is how the Talent Accelerator Program works. You are going to be grouped alongside other techies, as it were, with different tech skills, and you guys are going to work on a digital product. So you're going to work on this digital product, and you're going to demonstrate your proficiency in whatever tech skill you can offer. So whether you're a business analyst, a social media manager, a product designer, we'll find out if you actually know your onions. And then, of course, when you build this product, it's going to be pushed into the Nigerian market or even the African market, right? And of course, this is a product you can also refer your clients or your a hiring company to that you worked on for so period of time. So you are building experience, right? You are building experience. You're not just learning the tech skill, you're also building experience. So I mean, we've started another batch of our academy, and registration is still going on. Feel free to jump on registering with us. My colleague will leave a link in the chat section to our seller page where you can explore our programs, and you can just give it a look at and enroll and join and get started with your tech journey. In fact, currently we are running a discount, but of course we're going to be putting more of that information when you fill the feedback form, and we're going to get in touch with you about the discounts we are currently running. So basically that's it. So More Techies is very intentional about your progress in the tech space. And of course, more things that we offer. We don't just offer an academy where we teach you courses, or a talent accelerator program where we help you to build experience. We also have sessions upon sessions, just like this session where you are gaining experience from these seasoned professionals. We also have sessions where we help you with your CV revamping, sessions where we put you one-on-one with mentors to help you to even apply to jobs one-on-one. Amazing sessions that you don't want to miss out on. And trust me, this is a sign for you to take. And if you give us this opportunity to be a part of your learning process, you would definitely take advantage of it. You will definitely be grateful. In the next 8 weeks, you would be able to say, okay, wow, I took the best decisions of my life, because you would be on your way to starting out a career in the tech space. So basically, that is what we are about. I mean, I want to give our speakers some 30 seconds to just give their final remarks as we bring this webinar to a close. So Idris, do you have any last words for people in the house? Just in the next 10 to 15 seconds, just give us a last word, a last remark.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, more Techies, for having like all of us here. I know it takes quite a lot of planning to get these amazing speakers here. And also, one thing I want to also share is like even speakers have talked about a lot of things, right, during this whole thing. And I best believe that everyone would benefit from it, either you join live or you later stream it, at some point. And another thing you should remember is that I made a tweet, I think recently, 2 days ago, that if you don't have any reason to, have money, just have it, right? So another thing you should also think is the SDD that should serve as a drive
So
for
always be
you.
on our mind.
Yeah, and while it's always on your mind, remember that it won't start, like you won't start getting paid from the very first day you start learning, right? And with that being said, I wish everyone all the best.
All right, thank you so much, Idris. Over to you, Rosemary. Let's have your final remark for the next 15 to 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much, Tumdola. Thank you to all the speakers. Like I said, I've also learned a lot. I don't think it was just for the participants. I've also learned a lot. So if I'm going to leave any last words, I will just say that just in case you're here and the tech role you're looking to do is not part of any of the ones that have been discussed here, I don't think it was a waste. All of the ideas that have been shared and the processes can apply to you in any role that you want to do. Exactly. So just take out the points that you can and try to use it. And I wish you all the best. I know that very soon we have a lot of Techies and tech bros in the house.
All right, thank you, Rosemary. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ayobami. Final words, next 15 seconds.
All right. So, hello guys. So basically, I want to thank you all, and for people who are hoping to start a career in product design, all I will say is that everything is like somehow very easy. You just need to know how to battle with imposter syndrome, because you need to be really good for you to have imposter syndrome. So you will sometimes feel down, but don't let that one let you down. Just keep on focusing on improving yourself and becoming a better version of yourself. Make sure that your design today is better than yesterday's one, and I think you'll be fine over a short period of time. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Ayobami. Over to you, Mr.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would say is what everybody has been saying. Always update your iOS as your brain. Update it every time as much as you can. I think recently this whole ChatGPT thing, I think at the end of the day, it's coming for all of us in one way or another.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no time to dwell on information you got like 5 years ago. You just need to keep on learning. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. That was very, very apt. And finally, Ayomikun, last words for the hours before we call this session a wrap.
Okay, so I'm just going to say, like Nike slogan says, just do it. Just do it, really.
Nice
You might think, oh, I want to start next month. Yes, you can always want anything, but do you need to start immediately? Yes, you need to start immediately. I mean, everybody is starting something. Start it small. Plan towards it. If it's next month you want to start making your plans. What do I want to do? What do I need? Also, get your portfolio. Like Misan said, you don't need a portfolio from jobs. You can start with things that interest you. So don't wait for certain things. Just once it crosses your mind, just do it. And you can always try different sectors of the tech industry and see the one you best fit in. Also, don't forget to remember to niche down. I would say it's not everything that might interest you. So for example, if you like houses, I would say go into real estate, social media management, or things like that. Look for things that interest you. That way it'll be easier for you to understand things pertaining that topic or subject. So yeah, I think that's all.
All right.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Idris. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Ayobami, Mison, and Ayomiko. That was such an amazing and a very, very eye-opening session. and you guys did so much justice. I really want to say a big thank you on behalf of my team and I say thank you. And even on behalf of the audience, right, say a very, very big thank you. So like I said, guys, don't forget to fill our feedback form before you leave. Please, 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 and please fill the feedback form. It's very important to us. And it's one of the best ways we can actually use to reach out to you and, you know, just interact with you outside of this session. So thank you guys again for coming around. I mean, I want to appreciate my team members, my colleagues as well. Yeah, more Techies for their excellent job and their, you know, their doggedness and everything. Thank you so much, guys. I think it's safe to call this session a wrap. Thank you, guys, and I mean, we hope to see you in class, and we hope to see you at the top. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful Saturday and wonderful weekend.